Welcome back to the vlog. Today we're doing a $300 buy-in at the 1-3 game. The first hand I pick up is 8-7 offsuit in the big blind, $300 my stack. The middle position player limps. The low jack and the high jack limp. The small blind defends. I'm just going to check it. We're going to go 5 ways to the flop. And it comes out 4-7-6. Gut shot, top pair. Not very good kicker. But I'm going to go ahead and bet out here. Protect my hand a little bit. Only the middle position and the small blind make the call. We're headed 3 ways to the turn. And it's an ace. The ace is a bad card for me, but I have showdown value and a draw. I'm going to check the action. I can call a bet, but I can't call a raise. It checks through. And we see another bad card. The small blind checks. I check right behind him, and then the player in C1 immediately puts $30 in the middle of the pot. What's he betting this with? He probably would have bet the ace last street if he had one. And is he really betting a queen for value after the ace is on the board? The small blind decides to let the hand go. And I think I'm probably good a handful of times in this situation, so I make the immediate call, and my opponent shows a 5. Hopefully he doesn't have a straight, but no, he has a deuce of hearts. Absolutely nothing. And I'm scooping the first pot of the night with third pair. 362 on my stack. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Your interaction is key and critical. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's get right back to the action. The next hand I pick up is pocket aces in the low jack. 362 in my stack. There's a straddle on the pot, which is even better. The under the gun player limps, and I'm going to make it 30. Folds around to the small blind. The small blind decides to tag along for 30. Interesting. Worst position at the table. It's a pretty big bet. He must have something decent. And we get back to the under the gun player, who makes the call as well. Going 3 ways to the flop, just shy of $100 in the pot. And the flop comes out queen, 6, jack, 2 hearts, connected as connected could be. I'm looking to put some money in the pot, protect my hand, charge heavily for draws. I decide on a sizing of $60. The small blind, who already is curiously in this pot, definitely has something worth playing. Now he's taking a time, rolling his chips across the felt, really thinking about what he should do. Double checks his holdings, make sure he still likes what they are, and goes all in. Throws a single chip and goes all in. And man, it really starts making you question, are these aces still good? What bluffs could he have here that he wants to ship it all in? King 10 of hearts? 9 10 of hearts maybe? I can't think of anything else. The only value hands that I can see him having here are maybe jacks, pocket sixes, and queen jack. Going back to the question, are my aces still good? That's not a question to ask yet, because the under the gun player still has to act. 261 in his stack. He has the small blind covered, and he also decides to rip his whole stack in. Ugh, what a tough position for aces on such a juicy, wet board. Although I'm facing 2 all-ins, I have pocket aces, and I hold the ace of hearts. You never know. Would it be better for me to not hold the ace of hearts so I unblock it so they have more combination of flush draws? Probably better to not have it, but also it's really nice to have it just in case those running hearts come in. I'm behind. But I just can't get myself to fold. I just can't get myself to toss this hand away. I know I might be in big, big trouble, but I decide to make the call. And we're going 3 ways, all in to a turn and a river, hoping to keep it clean. The turn is a 5 of spades. I like to see that. Put another 5 on the board, dealer. But no, he puts the king of hearts, the absolute worst card in the deck. And to make matters worse, the middle position instantly shows his cards. The 9 of hearts and the 10 of diamonds hit the straight on the river. Oh my gosh. What an unlucky hand. But it gets even worse because the small blind also had pocket aces. We both had pocket aces. I bet, and the small blind didn't 3-bet me with his aces. This all could have been avoided. What a brutal beating with pocket aces. You hate to see it. Jesus. I frustratingly tap my card protector on the felt, and I just think to myself, if he would have raised me pre-flop with his aces, I avoided that whole situation. I can tell I'm frustrated because I even zoom in on his chip stack, $900. Just think of what could have been. But no, that is the bounty. That is the prize for what he gets for cracking both pairs of pocket aces. The next hand I get is king jack of hearts on the button. There's a straddle on the pot. The player across the table throws in 6. The low jack makes the call as well. The low jack is the player who has the $900 in front of him. Crack the aces. I only have $71, and of course I'm shipping it all into the middle. It folds around to the straddle. He gives his cards up. So does the middle position player. But the low jack with his brand new stack ships it all in. And I'm glad he did. I'm ready for revenge. I want to get payback. This is just a start. And he has queen jack domination station, baby. All I have to do is fade a queen. Well, will you look at that? How the tables have turned. Now I'm absolutely dominated, and he even has the spade. I have 2 cards to hit a king. The dealer turns the 10 of spades, bringing me extra outs, not the 8, but 6, because the ace of spades and 9 of spades bust me. And the river is the ace of clubs. Oh my gosh. The poker gods do exist. Justice and balance is omnipresent in the poker world. I double up. I'm so thankful. I deserve that pot. I won that pot. Pick up ace, jack, offsuit in the cutoff. The middle position player limps. I opened to 15. Maybe I should downsize to 10 with my stack size. The big blind defends. Our main villain makes the call. He's hoping to ship some more chips my way, and I have an open door invitation looking for a good flop, but it comes out queen high. Absolutely nothing for me with the 1 big card, 2 small cards. I'm going to continuation bet, though. I throw out a big portion of my stack, $25, just hoping that everyone ships their cards straight into the muck. But Seat 1 ships his entire stack in, all in, 118 to go. I only have $111 in my stack, and I have no choice but to fold. I feel like a wounded gazelle by a hyena licking my wounds. Sad I committed so much of my stack in on the flop. Probably should have just checked. I go and count my pittance of a stack, 111 left. I realize I have to play tight, play right, looking for an opportunity to double my stack. I go to play 5-4, hover over my chips, and realize that's not what my strategy is right now. Toss it away. I am running out. That's right, running out of my cold hard cash card protectors. Pick yours up today. Limited edition. Never going to be made again. If you've already gotten one, thank you so much. Leave a comment below. How does it look? How's it working for you? How full of luck is it? Let's get back to the action. Fold away some more junk. Just posting blinds is having a notable impact on my stack. I look at a jack. I look at ace jack offsuit again. This time I'm on the button, 98 in my stack. Action folds all the way to me. And I decide to throw out 3 reds again, make it 15. I only get 1 caller. The big blind who defends. Last time the flop came queen high. This time the dealer puts out jack high. Perfect. A++ kicker. And the big blind checks it to me. I'm going to try to milk him for everything I've got. Make it 15. And he makes a quick call that turns a clean 6. He checks the action over to me again. Now I'm going to size up. That way I can jam on the river. I make it 25. And the big blind has no problem calling the 25. I hope I have him dominated. Hope he has like king jack. The river's another clean card. And the big blind sends action my way once again. Only $43 in my stack, a 0.5 stack to pot ratio. I ship it all in, and he insta-calls. Insta-calls. Makes me a little nervous, but I flip up my hand, and he's slow to reveal his cards. A great sign until he shows me ace 6 of hearts. He had a monster, flopped the nut, flush draw, turned a pair. I was in way more trouble than I thought I was, but it's okay. These chips are safe in my bosom now. 197 in my stack. Lose my chips down a little bit to 192, then to 158 with some hands not really worth going over. The dealer makes a beautiful pass. I catch it perfectly. Instant replay. Catch it perfectly. You know this is going to be a good hand, and it is ace-king offsuit in the small blind. 158 in my stack. Action's on the under the gun player. He throws in 3 reds, 15 to go. Action folds all the way around in me. Now the question is, do I want a 3-bet here? My stack is so small. I'll be out of position. I'll have to put in a big continuation bet. I'm just going to play it cool, play it smooth, call the 15, see what develops on the flop. The dealer scoops in the chips. Mano-y-mano. I'm looking for a king or an ace on this board, and I need it to hold. The board comes king high. Absolutely perfect. I, of course, am checking range here. Check to my opponent. He instantly checks back. We go to the turn. It brings in a lot of draws, so now I'm going to have to protect my hand, start building the pot on my own. I grab 5 reds and slide 25 into the middle. The player across the table is thinking, I'm trying to figure out his range to check the flop, call a turn, maybe like ace-10 of hearts, 9-10 suited. He does throw in the 25. He wants to see a river, and it comes out a blank, the 2 of clubs. My first thought is to check it over to him, let him bluff his draws, but I remember how passively he played those aces. He didn't continuation bet the flop. He's been playing passive in general. I don't think he's going to put out a bluff, so I decided to target his value. Target an 8, target a 7, maybe a weak king, maybe a pocket 9s through pocket jacks. Put a little 5 cherry on top and put 65 across the line. He mucks before the dealer can count the chips, and amazingly ace-king offsuit held up for me. I'm not sure if that's ever happened before. Ace-king seems to burn me harder than jacks. What was once a glob of chips has now turned into a proper stack. I look down at pocket 8s, unfortunately make the call pre-flop, have to fold it on the flop. Guys, I'm curious, are you going to the WSOP? If so, what events are you playing? I'm wondering what events I should play. I'm definitely playing in that $1 million bounty. Back to the action. I look down at pocket 10s on the button. A beautiful hand, beautiful position. Finally, some chips in my stack. The under the gun players opened it to 15. All the other players toss their hand away. My hand is way too good to not 3-bet, especially when I went to get the blinds out of there. Play heads up, mano-y-mano. The cutoff makes a fold. And now the question is sizing. Do I want to make it a big bet where I have a SPR of 1 to just jam on the flop? Or do I want to make it a little smaller, have some room to play? I make it 40. That's good enough to get the blinds out. Actions back on the under the gun player. You always have to be cautious with an under the gun bet. That typically indicates strength, and if that isn't enough indication for you, he decides to put out almost a min raise, $85. Doesn't even put me all in. It's like he's begging for a call. Like he's aware of my stack size, doesn't want to scare me off. I realize his min bet 4-bet range is a lot stronger than my pocket 10, so I grab my cards and pass them back to the dealer.
What'd you have?
Pocket queen.
Seems like a good value to me, so I yeet a $1 chip over to the side, and he immediately flips up pocket kings. Great fold. I'm glad I paid to see. Makes me feel good about preserving my chips. 139 on my stack. Go a few orbits, lose a few blinds, down to 116, and decide, you know what? I've already milked this short stack long enough. No reason to take a full buy and loss, so I decide to rack up, head to the cage, and take what remaining chips I have left to turn them into cold, hard cash. In for 300, out for 116 for a loss of $184. Don't forget to drop a like. Thank you so much for watching. Kato out.